Listen, what I am divinely hearing is, why would you just eat the breadcrumbs when you can have the entire loaf of bread? Why would you settle for something, someone, some circumstance when you can have the entire loaf of life in full capacity? When you can have all your desires met instead of slightly met, feelings slightly met. You can have all that you want all in one. But I'm hearing, because you've been in a space of not understanding your self-worth and how amazing you are, you've accepted breadcrumbs. You've accepted the bare minimum from people. You see, how we are with ourselves is a lot in which we are with other people. And if we allow ourselves to accept the bare minimum from ourselves, then we allow others to present the same to us and be okay with it. If we allow ourselves to accept, us not showing up in the most authentic form, if we allow us to just not be in our natural and innate and authentic energy, we allow others to show up in the same way. But what I'm hearing is that your loaf of bread is waiting for you to eat. It's there. It's always been there. It's just you've failed to realize that those crumbs that you were accepting weren't the only thing that you were capable of receiving. You were capable of receiving an entire loaf this whole time. And it's absolutely insane that you've accepted these breadcrumbs, bare minimum, from other people. But you know what? It makes sense. How you show up with yourself is how you show up with others. So if you don't put forth that effort with yourself, you're going to allow others to show you the same kind of effort. So first we have to take self-accountability. You know what I'm saying? First we have to take self-accountability. I told you guys before, I'm in my accountability season, and I'm in a space in my life where I'm like, I have to take accountability for how my life is unfolding right now. Because my life is unfolding in the way in which that I am allowing it to. Your loaf of bread is waiting on you. But are you going to continue to accept the bare minimum with friends, with lovers, with jobs, with diet, with exercise, with mental space, with spiritual evolution? Are you going to continue to allow yourself to show up in these breadcrumby ways? And when I say breadcrumby ways, it means showing up in the bare minimum. You cannot expect a whole loaf of bread for somebody else or from the outside world if you're only putting out breadcrumbs, if you're only yielding breadcrumbs. You're leaving nothing behind. You can't expect to get the things in full capacity, the things in the full loaves, if you're not giving out that same energy. And man, I just feel like a lot of you have accepted the bare minimum with yourself and with others. And this is the season where we're going to stop that. This is the season where we're going to stop allowing ourselves to put out this breadcrumby energy and stop allowing others to give us breadcrumby energy. This is the time in our lives where we're really transforming and learning that I have to show up in my most authentic nature. I have to put forth an effort so that things around me can put back that same energy back into me. You see, you can have all that you desire. All that you desire is our feelings. But if you're not allowing the feelings to come in and feeling good before you even have the loaves, then the thing will never come to you. You see, your bread is in the oven baking right now, and you may not be able to see it rising and the yeast expanding, but it's there. You just have to have faith Sometimes you do have to walk by faith and not by sight, in a sense that you know that everything that you desire is already there for you, even when you can't see it. That's walking in the spirit of truth. That's walking in the spirit of understanding that everything that I desire is already mine. I just have to let it unfold. But if I'm only showing up in breadcrumby energy or accepting breadcrumby energy, my loaf is never gonna come out the oven ready perfectly for me, hot and warm, ready to be buttered up. Okay. I pulled 3 cards today, confirmation. I pulled 3 cards today. The first one is peace. I am being of love. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. Okay. I am a being of love, and I release all negative energy. Peace. You are a being of love. Okay. Like, you are a being of love, meaning you are the entire universe, unconditional. Everything around you is you. You are everything surrounding you. We are all the same. You operate in love, but you haven't been showing up in the most loving nature. You have to be feeling good. I'm having a feeling that you haven't been feeling good, because we all know when you are in the feeling of goodness, you are in the energy of godness. Okay. So when you're in the feeling of goodness, you're in the energy of godness. You're in your divine energy, your divine essence. You're one with the ultimate source, one with the Most High. Okay? So peace. You have to release the negative energy. What is the negative energy? A lot of times it's that voice in our head. And I've been hearing a lot that you let that voice inside your head override you a lot of the time. And I just want you to know that voice of doubt, that voice of despair, that voice of anxiety, that voice of just unreasonableness is not you. That voice that makes you feel like you just can't do anything. It's always, bringing up your insecurities. It's always bringing up the what if this happens, or what if this happens, and the voice that's always saying no, maybe tomorrow, maybe the next day, maybe the day after that. That voice has to be killed and released. You can give it a hug and you can release it, because you have to let that voice go. But don't be afraid when it shows back up, because it'll show back up every single day and keep downing you, keep showing you insecurities, keep showing you fears. But the biggest thing that you should be afraid of is losing your most authentic self. That's the biggest fear that you should have. My biggest fear is not showing up in my most authentic form, because when I'm not in my most authentic form, I am not in my loving, universal, divine energy. And that scares me. And it should scare you. It should scare you when you're not aligned with the Most High and the divine and your higher self. It should scare you. That scares me. Because that means I'm not showing up in authenticity. When I'm not showing up in authenticity, I can't possibly get my desires. When you're inauthentic, that's the breadcrumby energy. And it's interesting because I actually did pull the fear card. I realized that I am testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. It goes back to peace. I am testing my resolve to show that I'm living in the energy of love. Being in the energy of love. It goes back to peace. I told you that fear is going to be alongside you along this journey until you can completely quiet that voice, until you completely enter and step into oneness with your divine and authentic self, until you can step into that energy of being one with self. You're going to continue to hear that voice pop up every day. And it's so funny. For those of you who don't know, I call it my side gig, because I'm stepping in the energy of this is my full-time purpose here. I already know. But my side gig is I'm a paramedic. And so me and my partner, he has this saying is "Sibao." I'm not going to say it completely because it has a curse word in it, but shut your up. Shut your up. If you can fill in the blanks, you know what I'm saying? Sibao. So anytime that you gotta say it with a little country accent, Sibao. So anytime that voice pops up, I'm gonna say shut up, Be quiet. Be quiet. Because if I constantly feed into that voice like, oh, you're not good enough. Oh, you have these insecurities. Oh, you're around these people. You're blah, blah, blah. You're going to be in a complete 10-10, a complete repetitive cycle of the version of you that you already being. If you allow that voice is all the past shadows. I just want you to know that. When you hear that voice where it's like, don't do that. No, you're not good enough. But what about this? But what about that? Look at you. You're this. You're not as good as them. That's all the doubt that other people have placed onto you. Do you know that? It's the miles and piles of stuff that other people have placed onto you. And with the human brain, the human vessel in general is very smart. It builds these protective mechanisms around us so that we won't get hurt. And by doing so, it also tears us down. Those defense mechanisms become hatred to ourselves and no longer having self-love. So how can we more so step into the energy of love? By being at peace and understanding that you are a being of love. You are love. So I tell you that, like, of course you can attract love in your life. You are love. Love is all around you, but you are the essence of love. You are the essence of abundance. You are the essence of prosperity. You are all those things. And I think the last card is perfect too. Patience. But let me show you the fear card. That was fear. But that last card, patience. Beautiful card. It looks like, to me, it almost looks like an eye that's looking, it's like a horizon and an eye, but I see an eye through the eyes. And what can you usually see through someone's eyes? Their soul. So have patience. I accept that everything happens in divine order. I feel like a lot of your life you've wanted to rush timelines. In some areas more than others. And I feel like you really wanted to rush divine timelines, and we can't do that. I've come to understand that, and when you understand divine timing, you understand surrender, because you understand that surrendering is respecting divine timing. When we rush things, we end up in situations or with people or circumstances where we weren't supposed to be, and that makes our journey towards one of the stops along this path even longer. It makes it harder. Okay? So you must have patience. What is patience? Patience is simply just being. It goes back to the love card. I am a being of love. To have patience is just to be. It's just to be in the moment. And I just talked about this yesterday, is to be in the present moment is all that we have. That's the now. You have to be in the now. Eckhart Tolle, The Power of Now. Beautiful book. Read it. Empowering, inspiring. Love it. Patience is being in the now, and it's not, look, well, when is it gonna come? That doesn't matter, because it doesn't matter. You know why it really doesn't matter when it's gonna come? Because you can have it right now, because it's already yours. And why can you have it right now? And how can you possibly have it? Well, Ja, how can I possibly have it right now? I don't see it. It's because you can feel it. If you can close your eyes right now and you can imagine one of the things that you desire, right? Okay, just hear me out. Close your eyes. Imagine the thing that you desire. Ready? We're imagining it. All right, as you imagine the thing that you desire, I want you to feel what this thing is making you feel. What this person is making you. What does it make you feel right now? And you see how you imagine that thing? You can open your eyes back up. And you see how you imagine that thing, and you were able to generate that feeling. Remember how if you missed that video, please check it out, about generating emotions and having anything that you desire. So you are a manifestation generator. Your mind is a generator. Imagination. Generator. So if I can generate, meaning create, the scenario of what that feeling is going to be like when that thing that I desire comes in, I can have that thing right now. Do you see what I mean? If I want to travel to a different country, I can imagine what it will feel like to be in that different country, on that island, on that boat, on that land, on that beach, by that waterfall, in that rainforest. I can imagine, I can create the feeling of what it would feel like for that ocean, that salty water to be, on my tongue. I can feel the breeze of the ocean. I can feel the sand in between my toes. Do you understand that you can generate those feelings? The human is magnetic and magical because we have imaginations. That's what makes us creators, because we have imaginations. And with our imagination, we can generate a created reality, a desired reality. Do you understand how this works? How exciting that is? You should get excited. Get excited that you can feel like you have everything that you want. You want that certain car? Every time you get in your car, imagine it's the car that you desire. But let me tell you one thing. You have to treat the things that you have right now as if they were the things that you desire. Because when the things that you desire come in, how are you going to treat them? How are you treating yourself? Are you treating yourself with breadcrumby energy? Are you not standing up for yourself against that voice internally that bullies you? Are you not loving yourself wholly and completely, inside and outside? When you look in the mirror, do you say, I love you? Or are you giving yourself breadcrumby energy? You deserve the whole loaf. You deserve for someone, especially yourself, to give yourself the whole loaf. And you haven't been giving yourself that. You deserve everything in this entire world. Everything. The world is your oyster. You're a powerful being. I love that I can have everything that I desire right now. And I love that I can understand that when it shows up on the physical plane, because this is all a game, when it shows up on the physical plane, I know it may not look exactly like I imagine it. And I'll give you the perfect example, right? This happens a lot of times because I used to be the one that would be disappointed. But then I understood that there's called imagination. When people write books, right? For those who read books, and if you don't read books, I think you should read books. But listen to this. This is amazing analogy. I just got this. So when you read a book, and say it's a fantasy book, and it gives you all these scenes, so imaginative, the way the author describes them, it's beautiful. And then you have a creative director that can bring this book to life. And what happens sometimes when a book turns into a movie? We read that book and we have an imagination for how the scenes look, how everything looks that's being described in the book. But then when we go see the movie, it's not quite like we imagined it. I want you to understand that you have to eradicate the actual picture of the thing that you are imagining from the book when you view the movie. Because when you view the movie may not be exactly how we imagined it when we read it the first time. Because I want you to know you have the script to the movie, but we don't have ultimate control of how the movie is gonna be. That's why we have a choice, but don't completely have a choice. We have a ability to generate, but it doesn't mean the creation is going to be exactly like what we thought it was going to be from the beginning. That's why I love painting, because when you paint, sometimes it doesn't exactly depict what your mind had for it, but it still turns out beautiful. And that's the power of surrendering. That's the power of letting go. That's a power of trusting, having faith. So when you read that script and you turn it into an imagination, and when you generate it into an image in order to get that feeling for yourself, Do not be disappointed when you watch the picture, when you watch the movie, and it doesn't look exactly like when you imagine it, because guess what? It's going to be even better than what you imagined. You just have to be open to it. It's about being open. It's about being receptive to these things. Do you understand? But first, it comes with self. First, we have to work on the self. We have to do better with ourselves. Oh God, I love when I notice that I'm doing better. I love when I react differently to things that I would have reacted terribly in the past. That the other version of me that I jumped out of, the energetic body that I jumped out of, and now being in a different energetic body, I love that. I don't know about you. I love not reacting the same. I love it. I love seeing that. I love seeing that I'm not the same Ja that I used to be. I am not the same energy that I used to be. And for somebody out there, I want you to know that it's okay if other people aren't seeing the new version of you. Oh, a lot of people are going to hold on to the version of you that they knew, the version of you, the feeling that you gave them when you were present in their lives. And they could never possibly see that you've evolved now and you've changed, and it's been years later. So don't hold on too tight of the opinions and the thoughts of others, because people will only see you to the depths of which they can go with themselves. And if they're not going deep with themselves, how could you expect them to understand that you're a changing and evolving person? You can't. You can't expect someone who's not deep, evolving, changing, growing to see you at those depths. You can't. Your soul is so beautiful. And I can't wait till we just continue down this journey and just to learn and see how much you've grown as well. And to know that you stop breadcrumbing yourself and you stop allowing others to breadcrumb you. You have to understand you deserve much more than that. But I can only tell you so much as your higher self consciously telling you this. This is your higher self consciously telling you this. This is a message that you found because you are aligned with this message, because it is for you. Divinely destined and guided for you to understand these things, because you've been ignoring some of these things. You've been settling, accepting some of these things. And it's time for you to evolve. In this video, this message, this in tune, guided energy is here to remind you that you're worth more than just breadcrumbs, that you're worth way more than just receiving the bare minimum from people, from things, and from circumstances, okay? You're worth way more than that. And your divine higher self is here to guide you. And the thing is, once you become in tune more with yourself, this is going to become like second nature to you. So I can't wait to see how much you grow and continue to evolve and become just an even more of a powerful and beautiful human being. So that's going to be it for the message with a lot of job. And I'll see you guys next time. Ashe and amen.